executive overreach and open disregard for our Constitution, lawlessness in the legislature, with the presidency turning a blind eye, even when the sacred hall of our democracy go up in flames. Security forces brutalizing peaceful citizens, while millions are being spent on so-called operations that offer no protection to ordinary Liberians. They said,
you collected $22 million again without PPCC involvement.
Honored at this recent investiture.
Oh, yeah.
DJ Omegi.
I wish to be something else, so we not vote for Latin and we here, oh. People dying in joy, horses money is single. Parents crying for IFs. I thought they say we were enjoy 100 days back and forth. Jarrah's life didn't go up. Yeah, West to all the betray the labor. They can't call over to finish give up. Listen, we get gold, we get diamond, we get iron, oh. We get all, we get timber, we get rubber, oh. They sell the money in the bank, now we are leaving, oh. I saw the 100 days last I be the quota, oh. But what on the tree, oh, go. Waka, oh. We tire, oh. Waka, oh. What on the tree, oh, go. Waka, oh. We tire, oh. Waka, oh. What on the tree, oh, go. Waka, oh. We tire, oh.
Now the first time in the country you will see I'm made to wrong. We're not talking plenty ego, we're not fighting them we're going. And when we're talking say the team back to win to all wrong, you can just be looking at all that to say sleeping among the men are pong. Expressing my feelings on this song, the 22 minute roll. You tell me how far you go. Then I only one talking say we are coming up bro. The people say from Ghana, the people say police for A, yellow machine from China, they come and say they no for A.
Yama, when I'm feeling from here, just let Boga been poor in mess.
What they get it made to SAP. What they get it made to SAP.
What on the tree, oh, go. Waka, oh. We tire, oh. Waka, oh. What on the tree, oh, go. Waka, oh. We tire, oh.
Oh, what play the freedom of speech? Tell me why they sack people for MCC. Where the freedom of speech? When you thought you get the comment like a saki.
We still trying to understand the government agenda. The rescue mission, pile of fake impression. They get a job and lead the people with high expectation. Like who's that part of the asking when the train will go. But how the train will go when the driver is old? We been sitting in the train, but the driver can't wake up. Now all the funny thing they make all about give up. But who think on the budget?
Like they see me and I think on CPP document.
The house are sending like Dylan and young people property. But Uncle Prince and Jerry praying for back out the rapid. The country fire on us so we can understand it. See how the people crying.
I have received today news of the evictions and destructions of our party headquarters. Unfortunate and regrettable as this is. I wish to encourage all Liberians, especially our supporters and sympathizers, to stay calm, remain law-abiding, and respect due process in the interest of our democracy, the rule of law, and the peaceful coexistence among all Liberians, irrespective of party, social, ethnic, or tribal affiliations. Fellow Liberians, fellow partisans of the Coalition for Democratic Change, today we witness yet another testament of the Unity Party government gross disregard for the rule of law. Emboldened by impunity, they continue to abuse power, testing our nation's fragile peace and democracy. Their list of violations grows daily, from police brutality against ordinary citizens to outright disregard of court orders. We must, however, take the high road. In the interest of peaceful coexistence, I urge everyone to remain calm, law-abiding, and respectful of due process, despite this partisan political mischiefs from the Unity Party government. In the legal battle over the ownership of the CDC headquarters, our party has always followed the rule of law and openly stated its willingness to abide by the court final ruling, regardless of the outcome. Yet, before the battle was fully exhausted, the trigger-happy partisans leadership of the police force, with direct instruction from Bwaka himself, spurred into actions. This was not a lawful eviction. It was a failed mission to destroy and erase the CDC in an attempt to fulfill their very wish Bwaka has repeatedly expressed to his lieutenants. While executing this criminal act, they made the cheers of their partisans. They failed to notice the loud silence of the vast majority of ordinary Liberians. Our people are in disbelief at this administration. Reckless behavior in its quest to consolidate power. Posterity will punish them harshly, while the loss of our office building is a setback. I want to emphasize that it is only temporary. We shall overcome this sooner rather than later. Thanks to your unwavering commitment, determination, and resilience, fellow citizens, coalitions, well-wishers, and sympathizers. Fellow partisans, do not be despaired. While we admit these are difficult times, our party has faced worse situations, even from the very same actors we see today, and we have emerged stronger. We shall prevail. The UP leadership under Bwaka are destroyed, but we are builders. A special national headquarters delivery committee is being established to immediately begin the construction work so that we can have a modern state-of-the-art new home in record time. We shall execute this while we embark on a national tour to inform our people. In my journey to heights I have achieved, I have seen such hiccups before. We shall never waver. Together we will build. We are survivors by history. We are blessed with a spirit that overcomes even the most tragedies and misfortune. Remember the unity, strength, and identity of our party and coalition are not found in bricks and mortar. They live in the minds, hearts, and fighting spirit of our teaming supporters. Therefore, I call on every member of the party, our sympathizers, to mobilize and focus our energies on constructing our next premises. I must be clear, resist the temptation to take the law into your own hands. However disappointed we are by this outcome, I call on each of you to continue respecting the law and due process. Fellow partisans, well-wishers, and sympathizers, I am optimistic about the political future of our party. Together we will build a better home then for our party. So help me God. God bless Liberia.
We have seen a systematic erosion of democracy. Executive overreach and open disregard for our Constitution, lawlessness in the legislature, with the presidency turning a blind eye, even when the sacred hall of our democracy go up in flames. Security forces brutalizing peaceful citizens, while millions are being spent on so-called operations that offer no protection to ordinary Liberians. They said we were the problem, but now the Liberian people can see for themselves. The real problem is the unity party that is now in power. The time has come to speak the truth without fear. This government is failing and Liberia is paying the price. For seditions, let us not lose hope. Even the longest night must give way to daylight. Even a stronger storm must pass. We are still standing and we are still strong. We will not give up on Liberia. We will not give up on our people. And we will never give up on CDC. We are the party of the slums and the city. We are the voice of the voiceless. We are the protectors of the poor and the defender of their dreams. From New Cruton to Peaceville, from Buchanan to Bond Mines, from Sunny Quarter to Southtown, the CDC remains in the hearts of the people. This rally is a clear sign. We are reorganizing, we are preparing, we are coming back. I say to you, we are coming back. But in order to do that, we must build a strong, together we must fortify the one institution that can correct the failure of the Buaka administration. And that institution is the Mate Coalition for Democratic Change. This is why I call on all of you today, not just to believe, but to act. Not just to hope, but to build. Let us
support the assets recovery. That's one.
Councillor Arthur Johnson, can we say that the Minister of Justice name was mentioned?
Personally, I can tell you, yes, the Minister of Justice's name was involved.
Is that why you resign on the basis of frustration?
Well, of course, because if you tell me that I'm going to report the evidence to the Minister of Justice, why should I proceed?
How much did Musa, what did your documents tell you? How much did Musa Ding take, allegedly, as per the document? What can we hold him for? How much?
Let me be specific. What I can tell you is that in 12 of the cases, the oil black 13, his name was mentioned. 6 of them, his name was specifically mentioned.
What did he do?
And that because he was head of that, and he also later subsequently, the oil company, he was a lawyer for them. Okay. And so
the Minister of Justice.
Yeah, after you're not Minister of Justice.
Yeah, okay.
And so the guy's main concern is that they cannot work and report to him.
They were clear.
They were clear with me. First of all, let me tell you something, Jackson.
Did you recommend the president to ask the Minister of Justice to step aside?
Of course we have done that. We did that. We said that before. We said that before.
To the president,
I said that to the president sometime ago.
And what did the president say to you?
Well, the president has his own discretionary authority and constitutional authority. And I think one of the things is that he had always given me support in the job I did. Because then we had reports that came from the Liberal Anti-Corruption Commission. Honorable Samukai's report was one of those. And he was actually indicted for misapplication of entrusted property by the LACC. But our job was to review the reports because we had a special mandate to recover. The only time we go for prosecution is if the person is adamant and the person refuses.
So that indictment was done on early.
When I say indictment, it was not actually there was a draft indictment.
Okay.
There was a draft indictment. Yes, there was a draft indictment, but it was not actually an indictment like a presentment that went to the grand jury. No. So, but the conclusion was already made that he should be indicted. So we said no. We are going to review the reports. We will review all of the reports and to investigate to see whether there was any step missing. And one of the things I was looking with is that I had experts from Great Taunton. The Great Taunton is the best forensic investigative team of Europe for 2019 and 2020. They were the ones, in fact, that recovered for Nigeria over 500 billion. So the other branch is the one that we had here. The guys were here on their own to help Liberia for more than 6 months in Royal Hotel. That's where they were staying. So they were assisting all in forensic investigation, data analysis, forensic evidence, He was mandated by the president, the former president of Liberia. Because I'm on an oath. I got to speak what the evidence were.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not because I got to be very clear because history will judge me. That he was given the authority by the former president of Liberia to spend money from the AFL account.
Say what's up to all of you wherever you are. It's great joining us right here tonight. Sorry for the brief interruption. And it's because we don't want to have ourselves facing any future problem. That's why we had to do that. But we are back to continue with this program and it successfully, like you expect it to be. So we appreciate all of you. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Jefferson Koijee. We're right here with you tonight on this very day, and we are grateful to the Almighty God for everything. So until death do us part, we are one good family, and of course, great family. We're going to be together for the sake of our country. So no matter what the circumstances are, we are certainly getting there. And remember, like former President George Manneh Weah said, His Excellency Ambassador George Manneh Weah said, indeed, it's just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time. Whether you like it or not, never lose hope. No matter what it is, we are certainly getting there. I'm never going to be discouraged by anything. I'm just to spot out what may happen or what should happen. But in an event that it does not happen, I still don't lose hope. I believe that indeed we are certainly getting there because that's when God comes in to prove that indeed, yes, I am who I am. And I am that I am. And of course, and God will say that. So we are grateful to the Almighty God, and we thank you all so much for joining us tonight right here on this very day. We thank the great team for people working together for the good of our country. All of us, we are working together for the good of this country, and we're going to work it up. No matter what the circumstances are. And one thing that keeps me going, and I will keep telling you people, one thing that
power.
No amount of frustration can
you have power.
Intimidation can move me is because of people like you. Great people. Sound people like you. And until you do, I think nothing else moves me so much. Only you can move me. I mean, until you move me, nothing moves me. That's what I'm trying to say. So we are grateful to the Almighty God for everything. And with God, remember, all things are possible. So tomorrow is going to be Good Friday. Diaspora Talk returns. Today is Thursday, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, today is Thursday, as a matter of fact. So tomorrow is the 3rd of April, 2020. 2026. So we are certainly getting there. We are certainly getting there. And with God, remember, all things are possible. So we'll certainly get there. And when God says we will, we will. And nobody can stop us from getting there. So nobody can stop us from getting there. When God says we will, we will. So this is what the calendar looks like. And so far, this is what the calendar looks like so far. So I'll try to share with you this calendar. Tonight, just this today, I was able to talk to the Lord Mayor, Jefferson Koijee, Secretary General of the CDC, and on a couple of things. And I just thought to have him pass through the class tonight so that he would just pass through. Yeah, I then just pass in the class, and then he can go by his business. So I was able to tell you that. But this is what it looks like. And this is what it looks like for now. We have 1,004 days remaining to reach to January 2029. This is what the Unity Party people don't want to hear. They don't want for us to remind them that there is a day that is coming, there's a year that is coming. They don't want us to remind them. They want us to ignore the fact that 2029 will come. So the moment you remind them that 2029 is coming, they say you're threatening them. You're putting fear in there. Nobody putting fear in. We are just reminding you about the day that all of us you acknowledge will come. Or the year that all of us you acknowledge will come. So what's the big deal about that? Why are you angry? So I was listening to Darius Dillon out of frustration. He too, very frustrated. You can see, they think really moving people. I'm sorry for the Unity Party people. Things really moving them. The guys are bitter. No wonder some of them cut off speech from us. You know, I saw my sister Akula Fofana at the Bar Association. So the way they won't call me said, Akula, you ever say, I know, have I ever said anything about you? Or what about that's one principle and policy I have, and I would never go against that. Those of you around Joseph Boakai, no, you're not my target. And that's it. Except you want to get vexed because he provided your job and I'm trying to talk to him and will undermine your existence for your job. Yeah, you get right. You get all right to get vexed with me. Because maybe the work I do is trying to threaten your job. Because once your boss is threatened, I mean your job is threatened. That's why people like you will get problem with. But again, we never have problem with you people. When you have problem with George Weah, you know that George Weah is our friend. He's our happiness. When you're going against him and then he's out of power, our happiness is gone. But we never cut off speech from you people because they were trying to threaten our happiness. But believe that's democracy. We all can believe in one person. It doesn't mean that we should be enemies. So I don't know why you people, when you see people in the street, you want to be cutting your speech from there. You don't want to speak to people. Oh, gosh. Let's call me job here. Now you're entitlement. It's just a matter of giving a time to just serve. Right? It's not your entitlement. So people there doing this, yeah, and all the things that making you vex. Just because the initial say Joe will come by, just made them vex. Whole day, they will just make them vex. Joe will coming by, Joe will coming by. That thing can move Unity Party people. The moment they lecturing somebody join and say they just eating, turn they say Unity Party president eating, just pass out their house. Joe will coming by, you see that whole food turn sour in their mouth. I don't know what's about it. What's about it? If Joseph Boakai can make a frail man like that can make a what about George Weah, energetic, industrious, who has a bastion of credentials or records that speak to how he has benefited this country. He has helped this country. So that kind of man versus the man who has done nothing for this country besides being national liability to this country throughout his entire years. Then a national asset, that asset will not come back, the liability will continue. What kind of thing you can be dreaming about? So, by the way, that's what we say and that's what we do all of the time. So we are grateful to the Almighty God that we are right here beaming with life and out of good health, and no matter what the circumstances are. So I think with God, all things are possible. So we are certainly getting there, and we will get there. Whether you like it or not, we will get there. We will certainly get there. So we will get there. And getting there is not something that we will not, but we will get there. Right? Yeah. Getting there is not something that we will not. We will certainly get there. And I appreciate all of you for everything that we are going through. In terms of your support, you continue to give us. And we're happy about it. And we think we are certainly getting there. With God, all things are possible. So you stop these things you people doing. It's not going to help. This country is for all of us. So today, the Liberia National Police said that the charge Sam Jackson. They say, what are those charges again? What are the charges? They say the charging and saying to quote. The charging and saying to quote. Okay. No problem. What is it there again? It said I didn't follow everything because I was somewhere going through something. But I can tell you for sure. I don't want to sound like the Unity Party folks who decided to politicize everything. But everything they put in our charge are things that are very, 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 very difficult to prove against Sam Jackson. And you know, the funny thing about it is that for our state security to be relying heavily on Facebook blockers or on blockers, people like, I know, Chala, what thing? They say, one Chala, Rawa, what in that? The kind of people, then they're talking with one lady, the lady say, oh yeah, the man used to do that kind of thing, and then the police people take it, they see that evidence, they will use it against somebody. Now the same way the police went and listened to Prophet Key or talking to somebody, Prophet Key say, I know who they burn it. You can't listen to the man. The man, that is how they were planning how to burn the Capitol building. That whole thing, Gregory Coleman and took the carry, they say they get case. Nothing else. They can just be listening to these bloggers. The moment the bloggers come on and call somebody on the phone and say, what did Abraham we on there? Oh, Abraham we on beating a woman. You know, I was there. I was listening to Abraham we and say, oh, we know Abraham we are ready for domestic violence. All the kind of funny thing that I want to put carry. They just listen to hearsay, they say, they jump here, they get ready, then they say the build up case. Can you prove all that thing you have against Sam Jackson? I just thought I serious something you were doing. All that thing you go say Sam Jackson, they blah blah blah. All that thing that you're talking, blah 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 here and there. I'm not there. I'm not saying anything, but it is difficult to prove. Very, very difficult to prove. All that thing you're talking, oh manslaughter, or he did that, negligent, I don't know what thing, what they call homicide, manslaughter, all the kind of thing. What kind of people we have like this? What kind of people we have? Why y'all be like that? The whole security system or whatever it is, terrible. So the police part that how they can operate. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? And sometimes you got to ask yourself the question as to why this country has just reduced itself to this. So you just jump on, you turn around, you go up and down, you say, man, when we say we drive the thing against him, people will have issue with all. They will say, oh yeah, well, lie, but we'll prove a point. And just because he's an opposition figure, you must look for something against him at all costs. Even if it is not there, nothing is there. You just look for it. So you say, at least we'll put him in jail. You're really doing well. Unity Party people, you're really doing well. You're really, 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 really doing well. And there is God. You know, somebody comment stuff, and they can say, there is God. There is God. Whether you go or you come down, there is God. You keep doing what you're doing. We are watching because we know there is God. There is God. So they say, there is God. You're not about the people. You're not even the country. You are not even the country at all. You people not about the country. Let me put it that way. So you're so frustrated, and out of your own frustration, you're speaking out of frustration. Everything you're doing is just out of frustration. You have missed the mark. You don't know how to connect the dots. All those things giving you a hard time. And the wrong country, no matter how educated you are, no matter how smart you are, you need the grace of God. You need God's blessing before you can shine. It is God's blessing that can perfect anything that you strive for. That God can perfect everything. That God can perfect anything, any gift or whatever you think you have. Only God can perfect it. And you need God on your side. And in as much as you people don't have God on your side, that's why you'll get a problem. Look, everything that happening to the Unity Party is direct proof that God is not on your side. Simple. I don't know what kind of men of God will come out to go and tell whatever. Most of the strange things that happening, everything that happening to them, for me, I don't like what they say the ends will justify the means. I don't like to argue. If somebody say, oh, AB, you did that like George Weah. I was in New Georgia Golf, we're there. George Weah was playing football. New Georgia Golf, way inside the golf, there's a football field that we had there. Way inside. When you enter inside the golf, you pass through, you go to the water area they play. We have certain football field we used to be training there. So the guy then said, George Weah brother died. They buried George Weah brother way on it. So I used to go, Mr. Kotima era. He was once part of the National Elections Commission, I think during the transitional period. So the Kotima yard behind it, there are graves in there. Way inside the golf. So on football, goal is there like that, or we'll pass, and then we'll go around there. The people will be telling us and say, oh, George Weah, George Weah came, brother. And then they bury a brother with also football like his brother used to play more than him. I said, how come that didn't happen? That kind of myth we're passing around with. But every time we see that the other men want a medicine, it can't fail. How is it possible? Because no medicine lasts forever. That's one thing I know for sure. No medicine lasts forever. Some kind of way along the lines you will be exposed. So from that time, way back when we were in the golf, I can remember we moved in the community because we're in Tupo Village fresh, and we left from Tupo Village. We moved into New Georgia Golf Community in 1998. George Weah left this country in 1985 to go play football. 87 or something like that to go play football. There, 1998, we moved down there, right? So look at the number of years that it took, and then we moved there. And they said that the place, you go bury better with football, or in it, that the football inside and so in play with. So that's what people used to be saying. But the life that George we are living today, it runs directly, in fact, contrary to what you people had always said about him. Yeah, they say they used to call him Bobby Weah. Eh? Yeah, Bobby Weah. So up to now, they still see. So when people say, oh, maybe that there's a year and there, I don't talk much. Like I said in recent time, and I took that phrase from Paul, I said vindication is in the womb of time. George Weah continues to be vindicated. Imagine from where 1987 up to now, George Weah continues to be vindicated. George Weah played football. George Weah begin world pets. George Weah begin African pets. George Weah begin European pets. George Weah left from there. He came to Liberia. George Weah became president of the Republic of Liberia. He left the presidency today. George Weah is the most popular political figure in the Republic of Liberia. Nothing else. The ends continue. Let me say, vindication continues to be in the womb of time. And time, it is just appearing. Every time, vindication just going on. It's just there. It's just there. And that's why it is. It's in the womb of time. And every time. Can you imagine that? All these things you people own, you're talking here and there, blah, blah, blah. That's just the end. So you say, oh, Abraham, we are not there. Abraham, we are not worship. Abraham, we are not this, that, blah, blah. I don't talk. What time can talk for me? Because I will be vindicated because I'm in the womb of time. And until the womb can open for that time to come, for vindication to come also. Whatever you say, no problem. Let's leave it like that. Vindication is in the womb of time. Learn that today and know it. So we are certainly getting there. That issue that will come here to say, oh, this, that, I will come for people. The other people can for them. I say, oh, this, that, or I'm a different person, or this, that. No, I don't do that. I'm not going to fire anybody. The Unity Party is totally confused. I was just reading through just a while ago. I was reading through a while ago. I was reading something that somebody shared with me from how do you call it? Yeah, somebody shared with me from I think Facebook or something. Mhm. So I look at it for long. They say from Civil Service Agency. Yeah. They say from Civil Service Agency. Yeah. From Civil Service Agency. I look at it and say, wow. Is this what it is? Look at it, I just laugh. I can read it to you people. I'll read it to you people. Yeah. I'm reading it to you people. I'll read it to you people now as I speak, so that you'll get it and know exactly what it is. For me, I'm not here to come play fun. Vindication is in the womb of time. We are about to be vindicated again. It's in the womb of time. And I'm about to share that with you, so that you will get it. Yeah. So that's it. So that you will get it. Vindication is in the womb of time. I'll be telling you always. Prince Opoko Walker. What's up, boss man? How's everything? Is in class tonight? In class tonight. Hey boy. Hey boy, can we leave you? Sure to come to the class. He can get me in the bike get to. I think I put again school. Create power with J-Man Jaden at the 50 student and they can be scoring 50. So now 10%. So now 2%. I didn't want to get one show face. But the real smart student, you were not here talking too much. They just in the back. They're not talking. And the original student in there, how you operate. So I'm about to read a civil service, I think, a circular. It should be on notice to all of you. So I'm about to read a circular out there for you people so that you get it. You see the country? We talk to you people. We say all we could. We tried our best. God, this country. I'm trying to pull it up so that you can see it. Yeah. Let me do this quickly. What is this one? Let me see. I don't know what I can even open up for you to see it clearly. That's what I wanted to show you. Let me just read it one here quick, so that you see it clearly. I think it will be clear. Yeah, it will be clear. If it's not clear, then I will read it for you. Don't worry. There's a way I know how to read it. I will read it for you. If it's not clear, forget about it. We'll read it. Yeah, we'll read it for you. I don't think it's too clear. It's not too clear. So we'll use the other way around. We'll use the other way around to open it up, to make it clear. So we'll use the screen. Let's take this one off. Yeah, let's take this one off. And then we can use the share screen so that we show you what really it is. I think it'll be okay for you. Okay. So let's go there. Let's show it to you so that you get it. Okay, I think we'll get it. Okay, good. Yeah. I think you can see it now. So I'll be trying my best to strew it, right? They say all heads of government spending entities, all heads of government or GOL, Government of Liberia spending entities. This is from the Civil Service Agency, like I said. So I just want for you to get it. Yeah, I'll get it. So that we all get it together. That's something I just want to show you people, then we move. Let us move. So this is it. I think you're seeing the Civil Service Agency, right? All heads of GOL spending entities, all civil servants, from Josiah F. Joker Jr., PhD, Director General, subject, mandatory signing of non-disclosure agreement by all civil servants, all spending entities, mandatory non-disclosure agreement. That means All civil servants will sign paper that you will not disclose any information to anybody. You got it. You get it? You get it tough down on there. So we will need people that, let me tell you something. You know, this country is an interesting country. So all the leaking people, then you're leaking people behind CDC. You think Joe we are care about it? Or you think that what made we had to lose election? And I say we had lost the election because you stole it, because CDC didn't put their house together. And whatever why you stole it. You think that leaking information, and why are you be giving information to Costa there doing it, and I want make it today. Georgia lost the election. You're just lying. Georgia never care about those things. Especially when those information came up, he believed that it even helped his government to improve. That what made Georgia to get the kind of numbers he got, despite the cheating you people did. He improved his government. He never focused on that. He never cared. He just believed that human being will be human being. Some people want to be who they are and that issue. So if you focus on that one, you say you want to do that, you just hitting your head for nothing. Because the same thing, the same method you use to come to power, and you think that those methods help you to come to power. So as a result, you think those are the same methods or strategies that can take you from power. So they are there, your worries. So let's read this. It's April 2. It says here, the Civil Service Agency CSA wishes to draw the attention of all spending entities and civil servants to the provisions of Section 59, confidentiality of the Civil Service Human Resource Policy Manual, which clearly states the obligation of all civil servants to safeguard official information and uphold the highest standards of confidentiality in the discharge of their duties. We agree. We agree to the one here. In furtherance to this provision, the agency hereby directs that all civil servants shall be required to sign a non-disclosure agreement as a formal condition of employment within the civil service of the Republic of Liberia. So the one that are coming in or the one that are already there, they must sign. Okay, let's leave it. They say as a condition of employment. The people already employed. If they not sign, will you sack them? I don't know. Okay, let's leave that one. Let's go to your next paragraph. And it says here, this requirement is mandatory and shall apply as follows. All current civil servants are required to execute the non-disclosure agreement within the time frame to be officially communicated by the agency. Oh, yeah, must some people that will not put anything else, will not put anybody else, will not do anything else. Particularly in light of the increasing importance of data protection and the responsible handling of official records. They say all the stealing that we're doing, nobody will put people outside. Nobody should put document trails outside. All the stealing that we're doing, what thing we're doing, how we're doing it 1 year and then it must just be kept. Nobody, like brain pushing it nowhere, boy. Nobody should leak anything out. No problem. No problem. We hear you. We'll do it. Josiah and Joseph Walker will do it, yeah? It continues and says here, the introduction of this requirement is intended to strengthen institutional integrity, information security, accountability across the civil service, particularly in light of the increasing importance of data protection and the responsible handling of official records. The next paragraph. Please be further advised that failure or refusal to execute a non-disclosure agreement will carry administrative and payroll consequences. That means it will take salary from all your payroll. Just say, Joga, you what in your head? So if I say I'm not signing it, what you would do? What you would do if I say I'm not signing, I'm a civil servant and say I will not sign it? He said it will take your salary, it will call your salary from there, or they will take administrative action, or it will affect your salary. You see the kind of thing. You see the kind of janjaweed way of behaving. The man who calls himself PhD, and he brave to put PhD when he's behaving like somebody who elementary who knows nothing about administrative best practices. I don't say governmental practices, administrative best practices. You just jump up, you get ready, you sign it, you sign it, will do this here and there. If they say they ain't signing it, does that constitute any reason for you to affect their salaries or maybe take any other action against them? What kind of country you're running here? So one day Joseph Boga will call and pass on law. They get ready, the information ministry get ready to try. The other service when get ready, just pass it, one thing, everything. Can you imagine that? Because they said it will carry administrative and payroll consequences, including restrictions on payroll processing and review of continued employment status. That means what he is trying to say, that's why he sent it to the spending entities. Before you can spend any money on any civil servants SYZ, make sure that they sign SYZ. If they not sign it, and you people not execute it, will hold your salary. You're telling the agencies now, if you're not do that thing for the people to sign the thing, will hold your salary, will do this one. Administrative action will be taking payroll consequences, including restriction on payroll processing. They will not process payroll for you. Review of continued employment status. That means they will go back to go be reviewing all your employment status because you not signed it. What kind of behavior is it? In accordance with applicable civil service laws and regulations. What is that? What is that? What's really going on in this country, people? So they say heads and human resource directors are hereby directed to what? Ensure full compliance with their respective entities, within their respective entities. This includes the sensitization of all staff on the purpose and scope of the NDA, as well as proper collection, documentation, and submission of signed agreements to the civil service agency within a stipulated time frame. The agency counts on your full cooperation in the implementation of this important measure as part of the ongoing commitment to strengthening governance, professionalism, and institutional integrity within Liberian civil service. You see something again? So when we tell you the thing, you can say, oh, if they just talking. So they want to just talk as well. What the sense are inside? Huh? So you can see that Unity Party knows that they are crumbling. They are grabbing everything that they think they have to stay put. It can't help. It can't help them. I don't care what happens, it can't help them. It can't and will never ever help them. So I don't know what are their issues in relation to that. Well, it can't help you. It will never ever help you. I don't care what you do. So these guys, they are drowning. They are drowning. And they continue to drown every day. So they're drowning, just going, it's terrible for them. Sometimes you think that these guys know about governance, they know about this, but again, it comes back right to where it is that we know that they know nothing about governance. That is exactly why it is. The pressure is on. The pressure continues to mount on them. They are continuing to see themselves as people who have been threatened by the larger society in Liberia. The passing communities, they are not being appreciated. So every other janjaweed thing that they think they can do is what they will employ. What kind of government is this? You come out, you say, well, do they want this, that, here, they forget about your chief. Information will continue to leak, especially when it's injurious to the society. It will leak. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. Information will continue to leak. Recently, at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, people left from as far as River G, other counties. They were sitting at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. They came to look for pay. They are working. These are officials. These are staffers. These are officers of government. They come. They send it out to the ministry from counties. Some of them say 10 months. They haven't received anything yet. That's why they've come. That is why they said they've come. And they are there for days. No money. They are struggling. The frustration keeps mounting on them. So you can look at it for our indication and say, look, these people, they are not just ready. They are very bunch of unserious people. And we are keeping the pressure on them. We are piling up the pressure on them. And the good thing about it, we are not lying. We are using their own conduct to pile the pressures on them. They are the one that are feeding us. Everything they feed us is what we use on them. So we are very grateful. And every time you're seeing these things, we are talking, you're not getting it. So, let me bring forth another frustration again. There's one of frustration, but there's frustration. You see, when people are frustrated, be very careful. When people tend to be frustrated, they enter that state of what we call temporary insanity. Temporary insanity. When people are frustrated, frustration can make people not to calculate. You can lose it all. So when you are frustrated, you enter that realm of temporary insanity. Frustration can lead you to be insane temporarily. Frustration can lead you to be insane temporarily. So that's why you see there's a legal term, a theory that people employ, they call heat of passion. Now, heat of passion is that though you murder this person, let's say for instance, John Brown saw Mary Paul and somebody doing something. And instantly John Brown just went and killed one person. So John Brown's own defense is that yes, I killed, but I killed out of frustration. That frustration is what we call heat of passion, because frustration leads you to that passionate, that kind of passionate conduct that don't come from the construct of the mind. Right? It doesn't come from the construct of the mind. So obviously, they will say you were suffering from temporary insanity at the time it happened. When you came back to yourself, you got to realize that this which you have done is already wrong. There are people who will go and kill people and you see them cry. The period at which they were doing it, they were not to themselves. Temporarily, they were insane. And because they are saying temporarily, and me proving that maybe temporarily you were insane, there must have been certain conduct that must have triggered that temporary insanity. Certain behavior, certain things that must have influenced or triggered that temporary insanity. It must be a start. Then you can say, look, I didn't do it, because for murder to take place, there must be forceful intent, malicious thing, blah, blah, blah. All the kind of elements must be there, but you didn't mean it. You never planned it. You didn't mean it. It was not your intent or whatever. In fact, what you were doing at the time, you were not to yourself. At the period you were doing it, you were not to yourself. So how will you have calculated what you were doing? The moment it happened straight, then you come to yourself, you start thinking. Right? Yeah. So frustration makes people to, do a lot of things. But you don't overlook their frustration statement, because it can create harm for you. The same way frustrated people can kill people. So when people are frustrated and they're talking, stay away from them or exercise. The best way you can do it is to exercise high level of precaution. When you know that the person is frustrated already, don't go around them. Don't be around them too much. Don't tease them. Don't whatever it is. You got to be careful with them. So, all right, so frustration can lead you to anything. But again, like I told you, we have one of our guest lecturers. In fact, he just passed through, and he just want to speak with us tonight. And the Lord Mayor, the Secretary General of the Congress for Democratic Change, and Lord Mayor Jefferson Koijee, who's pursuing his studies, and of course will, one way or the other, be concluding and begging another great award and of course academic achievement to be back home. But whilst he's away, he is concerned about his country. Let's get his initial reaction. A couple of things evolving in Liberia. So let's just have on tonight his honor and of course my own friend and brother Jefferson Koijee. as he joined us tonight right here on the show. And Lord Mayor Koijee, how you doing? How's everything with you tonight?
Well, thank you so kindly, Evie. It is so pleasing. By the grace of God, we are here, and we want to extend our deepest thanks and appreciation for what you continue to do for this country, and extend our regards to the Liberian people at large and citizens in particular.
That's great. They are listening at the moment, and of course they got you. And thanks so much for joining us right here tonight, Koijee. Now, how is everything there with you? You know, it's been long. Liberians have not sensed your presence here, though you have always made your presence felt on the social media, expressing some opinions about issues evolving in Liberia. You are deeply involved with Liberia's activities, while you are also trying to focus on advancing yourself academically here and there. How has it been like for you?
Well, as we observe our Easter, I want to extend, as a Christian, I want to extend my greetings to all our Christian family, and I want to say emphatically for us people that God has been so well with me, God has been so merciful, and God has been so kind to me. So yes, things have been very tough, and things have been very difficult, but I think with the special grace of God, I can confidently say to you, things are all on course at the moment.
Things are all on course at the moment, especially with you. Things are tough. So let's delve a bit before we can go deeper into this. I'm seeing a lot of flyers all over the place. Your name has now flooded and is now gone viral on social media here and there concerning 2029 senatorial bid, especially in Montserrat County. I would like to hear from you. May I have spoken with others, but I would like to hear from you tonight. Are there any intentions on your part as Secretary General of the CDC this time around going to the senatorial race to represent the people of Montserrat County? Is there any plans of such?
Well, maybe since I have known myself, I've always been a servant of the people in contributing service to our people in our country. At this point in time, like you just initially admitted, I've been going through a lot, AB. As a young man, I went through a lot in our country. I became vilified, I've been mischaracterized. To the extent today, I've been, my reputation, I've been sanctioned, a very young man. Working in the country for almost 6 years. Today I was sanctioned. Everything of me has been restricted. And today, by grace, I'm trying to reestablish myself. So maybe I have some focus. One, I'm very grateful that I reconnected my life with God in a more positive way, in a more closer way. I knew God very well, but I think my relationship with Him has become more, more strong, than ever before. I also trying to use this moment to see how I can engage into personal development, academic development, and also see that these unfortunate circumstances that have been muted on my reputation. So by the special grace of God, that we can be a free individual like we used to be. Issued about what people have been circulated. We appreciate Liberian people. But we say by His grace, when we shall return to the country, we'll be in a better position to understand, a better sense of appreciation to know exactly. And we want to say, emphatically clear again that we are institutionalists, and that whatever the situation will be, we appreciate our institution can make a determination, and on the basis of that, we'll let the Liberian people know. But for now, my concentration I have listed to you, those are things that I'm deeply concentrated. I'm involved into personal development, in my religion engagement with God, and to see my reputational, restoration Those are things that I'm heavily engaged with at the moment.
Thank you. All right, so we respect that and we hold you at that. Thank you so much. And of course, you're not confirmed nor denied anything of such, but of course, like you said, the institution will decide when the time shall come. All right, so thank you for that. Let's get back home. You there, but your pen have been bleeding, especially when your native or your cradle land in Lofa County had been besieged and of course encroached upon and by foreign forces, especially those from Guinea. And currently, as we speak, the situation still remains the same. And we have strange forces on our land. Strange flag is hosted on Liberian soil. And you started raising issues about it. Now, currently, as we speak, no further action has been taken to take our people back to their land or take them to their farms here and there. How do you see the entire Makoma or Guinea, Liberia border dispute situation? What's your initial reaction to that?
Well, again, let me say thank you for a very certain question. When the initial circumstances erupted as it relates to the Makona saga, when Liberian people were being deceived and being duped, creating an impression that yes, indeed, the Guinean, just woke up all of a sudden and just crossed the border and began to make unrealistic demand. That was totally unfortunate. And I was a person who saw beyond the periphery and raised and said, look, the government needs to be honest. The government needs to be accountable. The government needs to be transparent. The government has a responsibility to be transparent to the Liberian people. You the responsibility to be accountable to the Liberian people. So we got to realize the government was totally engaged. The government was engaged into. The government was disingenuous. The government was not honest in its activities. So what happened? The government was involved into sinister and malicious activity, particularly one of a prominent and well-known individual, Yumale Sakila, who happened to become a sacred cow, who arrogantly displayed that the president lacked what it takes to take practical action against him, because he remained the custodian of the president in wrongful deeds. So on the basis of that, the president cannot do anything. Maybe I'm speaking, it's not about politics, Maybe this is actually, this is reality. As I speak to you, where the circumstances is being occurred, that is the part of Lofa I'm from. I'm from the one district. You were in Lofa before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's sort of you just talking about a few towns away from a town. I'm saying to you, my people are faced with the unbearable condition. My people are currently we are from the background of farming and hunting. Today, our people bear the blunt, the pain of the unfortunate circumstances that is currently engulfed their life. Our people are living in panic. The situation has become a pandemonium. The people do not go to, they are afraid to go farming because it is an uncertainty. They do not know what will happen in next time. And the governor has just to take a definite position. So this situation is something that very grave. It's just unfortunate that you have a government who is grossly insensitive and paying nothing. It is selfishness. It is greediness. This government is presiding over the country. Why is it that the government has to get involved into malicious and illicit mining that eventually will instigate the unwarranted action by the Guinean? Take for example, Liberia was founded in 47. From Topman time all the way to President Weah time. Why is it that not a single day the Guineans are ever taught to come and do what they currently doing? If you have a group of people who preside over the country have total disrespect for the Liberian people, to the extent that the president will arrogantly score is not making new land, that people who care less about the homelessness of our people, but yet still will decide to engage into illicit mining that subsequently create the condition what is it. Now today our sovereignty, our integrity sovereignty, it been urinated upon, it been violated because when Mr. Boakai lack what it takes to protect every leader, your first responsibility is to protect the land. Mr. Boakai is from Lofa County. If he cannot protect a land from Lofa County, what else would this man do? What the leadership would do? He spend money to go to Guinea, pretended to us that visitation after he was being ignored for what you call 15 hours. Dumoya did not speak to him. The presidency was being disrespected. It's not Mr. Boakai. The presidency is an institution. He took the presidency to Guinea. He was being humiliated. He came back because he is a dishonest old man. He did not even tell us with honesty. He said nothing. He stayed so long in Guinea. Our understanding is that he even pleaded with what you call Marabio. Marabio, they didn't even want to go to Guinea. Marabio, in fact, Marabio accompanied him against his will and pleasure. Because he's an elderly man, Marabio carrying to that place. So when that disrespect was being muted against the presidency, he came back. Dishonestly, he didn't say anything. The next day he engaged her, he said absolutely nothing. And today he lied to us and said things were okay. As we speak to you currently, the sovereignty, our integrity, sovereignty of our country is currently being besieged, like you rightly say to us. So when we are kind of saying to the government, what it takes for this government to be honest and let them know, we say, tell us what learn to this long and independent investigation. Let the people understand who are those that were responsible for this madness that is endangering our peace and security. Maybe, you know what you're talking about? Anything will happen in our country, our people will lose their life. Our country has gone for 14 years civil unrest in our country. Liberians are not prepared again to even lose a single life. That is not politics. We're not interested into politicizing something very important about our country. So we think the government in ensuring to protect the integrity, the integral dignity of our people. That is the situation. Why are they not honest to us? Why is taking advantage? Alright. That is the situation. So I think maybe what is taking place over there, we think they as an institution, we have communicated with our international partner. We are informed the government as an institution. We think the president and his leadership must be able to be honest to tell us what is happening. So when they use taxpayer money, they went to Guinea. There was no aid about that. They came back, see the representatives. Our understanding is that what they did, they were engaged into state looting and they went and engaged into merrymaking. You take another boy called Gregory Como. He doesn't even understand his function, his statutory function. We are talking about sovereignty. What the army got the responsibility to deal with that. He took the police and a dog operator himself, like a dog operator did, and went to the border. Now he had absolutely no control. What the reason he went there for? Is it because of resources? Because money was involved? Is that the situation? Is that the situation? Yeah, so maybe I think, yeah, that's it.
But, Mayor, now, with all you are saying, these things did not just start now. It all points to the crux of how this entire Unity Party government took over. There are a lot of lawlessness and, of course, wanton abuse of power and doing things at their will and pleasure. Even if it will affect the country, they don't have time. Even if they affect their own native county or their cattle land in Lofa, they don't have time. And they keep swimming in that pool because there is no one who has been able to stop them. We are discussing the CDC today in opposition. Now, we know for sure the Unity Party, when they were in opposition, and the rest of the other political parties, whatever they did, they believed that they were keeping the country in check and not allowing CDC to further destroy the country. So there were actions they took. You are the Secretary General of the CDC. Couple of things have been happening. The removal of speaker, the removal of this other person, and of course, suspension of people leading to dismissal, having people nominated with no time going to the Liberian Senate. They have already taken on their positions. Outsiders are acting in positions that are not supposed, that they have no business going around until the Senate can clear them. When we have other people within the institution, lots and lots of things have been going on. Now, the leading opposition party just sitting, watching, and then just complaining. Others will say that's a sign of weakness. Do you agree with them?
Absolutely no, AB. We are not going to allow the gross incompetency to define the CDC. We're not going to do that, AB. For us, our love and admiration for this country is quite authentic. AB, our approach is quite different. We knew fully well that the Unity Party was a scam. We knew fully well that the Liberian people were being duped. But look, AB, what we will not do, AB, will not allow the Unity Party to use us to create instability in the country. We're not going to allow the way the Unity Party succeeded to the people and created a false picture of our governance system and presented itself as a solutionist that it has solution to deal with the Liberian issue. We're not going to do that. So it becomes laughable and say, look, the opposition is weak. You say CDC is weak. That's the definition. And you say, oh, but the CDC haven't taken over the street. Oh, the CDC haven't done. No. They see the Unity Party will self-destruct. The Unity Party is at the verge of implosion. The CDC will escort the Unity Party to an explosion. Everything about our approach is being calculative. We wanted the Liberian people to understand, to see through the scheme. So we give the Unity Party 2 consecutive years so that they cannot say the CDC disrupted. The CDC failed to change the Liberian people condition. The CDC has nothing to offer, and the CDC is angry. And that's the reason, AB, 12 years we kept the peace of the country. Yes, we also kept the peace of the country. We lost the election by a razor-thin margin. When people thought we were held to power, we did not do that, AB. We turned the country over graciously under his stewardship, his Excellency Dr. George Manawia, to say to the Liberian people that we came to govern this country. We are not desperado. We are not desperate people. We are patriot. We are people who came to serve you. The fact that you Liberian people made a decision, we are obliged. We are on an obligation to respect that decision in return. So today, the posture in which the CDC have adopted, we will not take a decision that will subsequently injure the Liberian people. So our posture kind of weakness. It is to give the opposition to the party an opportunity so the Liberian people can see through them. See, they came to better own lives. Today, shameless that these people say 3 auditors were murdered. Shameless that these people said we were criminals. These people said every other thing. They have gone 2 consecutive years. The Liberian people are not stupid people. We want to get us. So if we take any action, our decision will be justifiable. Our decision will be popularly driven by the Liberian people. It will be appreciated by the Liberian people. If anybody whoever thinking in a slighter thought of imagination that the CDC is weak, that person needs to check a psychiatrist. That person is a student of utopia. It is a utopian theory. The CDC is not weak. The CDC a CDC is vibrant. You went to the speaker. We show how dictatorial Mr. Parker is. He went and removed a legitimate speaker. Today you see what's happening. All of those recklessness is been displayed by them. Today they're moving out and they are butchering the laws and every other thing. The CDC have sufficiently called attention both nationally and internationally. So if they resort into any popular action, there will be no room for the Unity Party to hide behind and misinform the Liberian people that the CDC is off for trouble. I can say to you, our action was calculative, it was decisive, it was meticulous, it was strategically deployed as political pundit of our country. We are not irresponsible, we are not reckless, we are not desperate, we are logical and decisive political institution. And we can say to you, we have never disappointed the Liberian people, and we will certainly not disappoint the Liberian people. The Unity Party will be fully accountable, will be held accountable, and we will ensure them that what you call the classical bluff that the Unity Party is parading and thinking that nobody can check them about their attitude, that is nothing less than a sense of insanity. Very soon, those elements will be castrated politically, and the Liberian people will have no option but to celebrate the decision of the Martin Congress for Democratic Change, by extension, the Coalition for Democratic Change.
Okay, Honorable SG, from what you've just said, I'm getting to understand from your point that the first 2 years you gave it to the Unity Party so that the Liberian people can see through, X-ray the Unity Party, and then I know the kind of character and the Unity Party is made of, the characteristics it's made of, and who really they are. Now, we've gone 3 years now, and of course, there's the 3rd year. The first quarter of the 3rd year just ended. We are just embarking on the 2nd quarter, and with the month of April. So, are you telling the Liberian people that Unity Party will face the wrath of political consequences prior to 2029? Is that what you are saying? If they were to continue in these conducts of theirs?
That is an unmistakable decision that the Liberian people can see it as a hope, as an assurance that the CDC will never falter, will never abandon its statutory responsibility to stand in defense of the Liberian people. You can go to bear on this one, that the Unity Party will be held accountable in a not too long distant future by the Liberian people. And through the instrumentality of the Martin Congress of Democratic Change, by the extension of the Coalition of Democratic Change. And we want to assure all our people, don't lose hope. Our decision was very deliberate. Our decision was very calculative. We thought it was expedient enough to allow the Liberian people. Far too long we were vilified. Far too long the CDC were being mischaracterized. Mr. Weir, who happens to be your leader, can you imagine some of the lies people are even portraying that Mr. Weir was so sick that you have to kill some of his citizens to use their candy? Some Liberians became victimized in believing those political traps being cooked by the Unity Party. To the extent of today, shamelessly, people still believe that Mr. Weir used Ivory Coast to go to the Soviet. Can you see the group of dangerous people who want to assure the Liberian people 2029? is not only a victory of the people, we will ensure that this national caste, name and star, the Parker and Kungen Great Britain will be erased. Erased erased permanently, because we do not need a group of people who so desire is to lie, who so desire is to be malicious. We can do politics. We don't have to be hateful. Do politics. We don't have to destroy our country. We can do politics. We can exchange the ideas. When we were in the opposition 12 years, what did we do? We were angry? No. What did we do? We consciously engaged our Liberian people. We told them what we could do better, how we were better than the Unity Party. We didn't have to tear this country down. Like the Unity Party that were engaged into bringing war, 1990, they killed people, destroyed our country, and they came back by all costs. Again, when we presided over the country for 6 years, Mr. Weah being a paragon of peace, what did he do? He said, if this is a decision, a consideration of the Liberian people, I love this country far greater than my desire to govern, than my ambition. We will remain answerable to the Liberian people. Let that decision should not be mistaken as think that Mr. Weah is a weak person, that the CDC is a weak institution. And like I said initially, if anybody is thinking that the CDC is a weak institution, then that person is reading history upside down. That person is reading history upside down. The Unity Party wanted to scapegoat its incompetence. She wanted to scapegoat and said the CDC, that's what we told you. The CDC is engaged into violence. The CDC is a disruptive group of people. The CDC were hooligans, a group of people. We say, okay, we will continue to highlight the incompetency of the Unity Party. We will continue to allow the Liberian people, because we know our people are not stupid people. And people may be poor, they may be hungry, but they're not stupid people, AB. AB, you don't know the impact you're making. I'm way out of the country, but there are hundreds of thousands of people who reach out to me through email, through messages, and said, maybe they are practically, you have become an oxygen to them. Some of them listening to you, and because they listen to you, you have served as a hope to them in keeping their life. To tell you that the Liberian people follow you, they are Unity Party people who would think. Some of them were very angry about you when they reached out to her and said, look, AB, things you said are factual, and they are prepared to ensure that those people who are responsible for the irresponsible and reckless behavior will be prosecuted by their actions. So the CDC will provide that leadership. They can rest assured about that.
Wow.
In not too long distant future,
it's not too
that leadership will be delivered under His Excellency Dr. George Manawia and the Democratic Coalition for Democratic Change.
Well, I like that fact that indeed you said all about. But thanks so much for the acknowledgement of our effort here, and of course through other people's voices. But again, this is something very key, and I keep this and I try to turn it the other way again. Get back to you the same question I asked now. Can we safely say that the honeymoon days of the Unity Party, putting police in the streets, police brutality here and there, as of 2027 or as of this 2026 or latter stage of the 2026, the Unity Party will start sensing the CDC standing in defense of the people before 2029?
Maybe we have a surprise package.
Okay.
An amazing surprise package. I can say to you, the Liberian people know the CDC full well. It's not to brag in terms of disrupting the peace and stability of our country, but to say to you that far too long, the CDC will not tolerate no longer a single Liberian to be abused by what is known as a national curse by the Barker and Coon gang regime, who along with Gregory Coleman, who have now transformed the police into a state-sanctioned militia. We can say to you that the CDC is far more sophisticated, far more prepared to do something unusual in the country. And that unusualness will be something that Liberian people will be very proud of. And those evil people will be certainly accountable. People who are mistaken and think intimidation has become the order of the day, and intimidation has confirmed them in believing that they are, in a way, intimidation, they can impose themselves on the Liberian people. That is nothing far short of acute insanity. We can say to you that before the year go to an end, there will be a big year surprised, and the Liberian people, if care is not taken, the Liberian people will jump up and they will celebrate. We can say to you, enough is enough. There have been a long time. We have allowed the Liberian people to realize, to the extent that they are racking our tools, they are calling upon us. And take for example, what has happened with the Election Commission, and that's why we haven't spoken. And to think that you can take, genital weed, you is unconsummated partisans of the Unity Party, and thinking you can gamble the peace and stability of our country. You can gamble the peace and stability of our country by the fear of retaining yourself in power. That is the biggest gamble that Mr. Parker is attempting to commit.
Okay.
Because this country is bigger than any individual Liberian. The peace and stability of our country surpasses any desperation to remain in power. We are not prepared to allow any Liberian under the sun who again will collectively gamble the peace of our country. We have informed our international partner, telling them that the CDC will issue a non-compliant posture in defense of the peace and stability of our country. We will not allow Mr. Bwaka, in his age at this level, apparently Mr. Bwaka, around 80 plus years, believe that the peace of this country is a toy to him. We cannot afford to allow our peace to be gambled. There are generations yet unborn. The Liberian people have gone through a lot. You coming to govern this country, if you are tolerated by the Liberian people, it's not in any way suggest that you are the owner of that country and you can do as you wish and desire. We must respect that by all ways that the true authority is belonging to the people. You not the people remain the authentic custodian of our authority. We think that must be respected. For Mr. Parker to think that you will come and solve something down our throat, he needs to be sharply remanded. Now look, there were Charles Taylor before, there were presidents in our country before. One thing that remains very consistent is the Liberian people. Every other leader has become transitory. Every leader in our country has been transitory. The constant thing in our country, like the Northern Star, is the Liberian people. That the group of people that cannot shift. They never shifted yesterday. They never shift today. They never shift yesterday, and they will not shift today. Neither they will shift tomorrow. They will remain consistent like a Northern Star. If anyone that is intoxicated with arrogance and think by appointing your affiliate, your associate, and that's what Mr. Parker said, even when he calls for him to dance with the devil, he will do it. This time around, we implore him to say, even his extended relative, Mr. Satan or Lucifer, can be appointed at the National Election Commission. Mr. Parker, we can say to you, he will not stay in our office 1 minute after 2020, after 2029, October 10. Not 1 minute. Anything falling short of that, he will be a citizen of the cemetery. We can assure you that. Not 1 minute he can spend that. We respect that, And he knows that fully well, that the Liberian people are prepared far more than ever before. You can poke your biggest troop. You can think about people out there in our country. You can go to bed that Mr. Parker will not spend 1 minute if God spare his life and give him good health. 1 minute after October 10, 2029, Mr. Parker will not spend it in that position as a president. He would probably be referred to as an ex-president of the Republic of Liberia, and now he will have an opportunity to face the Liberian people and to be accountable for his stewardship.
Accountable for his stewardship, and we appreciate it. So you mean the CDC and other political parties, are you people concerned about the widow's appointment and that the widow, whether or not he will guarantee it, but of course with the kind of stigma associated with that for the credibility of the process here and there, will widow be the person you people will accept to lead you towards this process and waiting on the end result before you act?
You know, for us, like I said to you, we are not operating isolation or in vacuum. We are consulting both political institutions. We are consulting both political individual and reputable figures in the country. Because look, AB, the peace of our country surpasses each and every other, AB.
You're right.
We are talking to people, you don't have to be a citizen. And in our country, AB, there are some people who are not politicians. Those are business people. Those are civil society practitioners. They are Nigerian people. But all have one thing in common. When the country is peaceful, we have an opportunity to coexist. We have a country to protect. No politician, no political institution should ever have the slightest thought to gamble the peace and stability of our country. If you're president, it doesn't make you a god. It doesn't make you a king. You are just a servant being tolerated and being guarded by the laws of the land. You cannot come in any given circumstances and begin to do otherwise. So we are engaging our people, both home and abroad, where we can be able to make a more definite position.
And that definite position will see to the withdrawal of the name of Jonathan Wider. You think so?
Mr. Parker has an option. If he loves Jonathan Wider more than if he loves Jonathan Wider more than he being in power, he can tell us that. But we can say to you that Mr. Parker don't have a take to undermine the peace of that country. We're not permitting to do that.
All right, Lord Mayor, great that we're hearing from you here tonight. A lot of things are ongoing. The party headquarters, there are a lot of things happening. The Unity Party had thought that by breaking down the party headquarters, it would have dissolved the CDC forever. And currently, as we speak, a lot of things are going on. The party headquarters project, and of course, it's ongoing and so forth. You as a party, and people are saying that is the only spot you people have. What dreams, hopes, and aspirations you people have? People are concerned about the president making county tours to appreciate the people sent he got there. What is the party thinking in revitalizing the party, trying to resuscitate the party, trying to remake the party, rebrand it, and then, of course, have others coming on board? What are the contemplations?
Maybe you are breaking a little bit. Can you just...
Yeah, I'm asking. I'm just asking. Now we talk about the party headquarters. When the Unity Party talked about bringing down the party headquarters, they thought the CDC was in total dissolution. Now, we're talking about the issue of the rebranding of the party as well. Others are saying that, look, the president's supposed to make some county tours and, of course, to revive the party, rejuvenate the party. And people talk about restructuring the party where you bring in new faces and others who are no longer able to be people who want to see themselves sitting on the fence, but they now want to be part of a political party, and the CDC is that future that they see. What are the contemplations of you guys, especially as a political institution, in meeting all of these things ahead of 2029?
So, Abby, I want to say again, thank you, and we never fall short to acknowledge and to appreciate the resilience of the Liberian people, for their consistent confidence, repost in us as leaders of the Democratic Congress for Democratic Change. For those of the people who thought by physically destroying destroying a physical structure of the CDC, it just is an excellent display of their limitation and their naivety.
Okay.
If you think the CDC, it is a populous people movement driven ideologically and philosophically. The CDC lives in the people. The CDC is a true representation of the people of Westland, of the people of Clarendon, of the people of Newcastle. The CDC has a solemn responsibility to change the living condition of our people. The CDC is poised to redefine the Liberian history. And that's the reason the CDC gave birth to. How dare you think you can come here and destroy an institution and you think a physical structure and that thing symbolizes a struggle. The CDC were given birth to come and retain the Liberian people. We say power to the people. It's something that we meant. If we have a class struggle, a vast majority of the Liberian people who felt isolated, who felt marginalized, who have been referred to as third-class citizens, the CDC became an eternity. The CDC became a hope to them to keep them alive. And they saw one of their sons, His Excellency Dr. George Manawia, who became the neutral place. The man who earned his resources void of any political cabal. And he became the leader. And that's what the CDC is here. That's what the CDC will always be, the institution that will finally instigate a leadership. So for now, we as a leader, as leadership, focusing, we want to use this time to the extent our biggest thanks and appreciation to Speaker Fonati Kofa, along with his team that's been charged with the responsibility of the reconstruction of our party. Kofa is doing extremely well, along the stewardship of His Excellency Dr. George Manawia, to ensure that the CDC has a space. The CDC, we do not operate, we do not engage into a knee-jerk reaction. We are very patriotic and nationalistic, wise leaders who approach it being well calculative, is being guided with precision, with sensitivity. So our first move is to ensure that as the political leader has showed the Liberian people that yes indeed, that there will be a party headquarters that will be constructed in record time. He's a man of his word. We are deeply focused on that. We want to assure the Liberian people that structure will be up. When I said to you, the 2 years that were given to the Unity Party was to be able to expose her so the Liberian people can see through the empty vessel. So the Liberian people can appreciate the scam. To see that the CDC suffer in malicious, creative lies that have been told to the Liberian people. We're showcasing that it has solution. That to the extent that even the international community, some of them use their ill-gotten wealth to pour on sanction today. But that is more besides the point. We're not perturbed about that. We are inspired, we are motivated because we know who we are, and we will always demonstrate our true nature. So the CDC is prepared, AB. We want to reassure our people, Liberian people, and we are now using this time on 2 issues we're using, AB. 2 major issues we're using. The first issue is to ensure that our party headquarters will be fully erected. And at the same time, we are also engaging other political stakeholders. We are talking different dimensions. So we try to, some of them willingly reaching out to us, some of them talking to us overnight, some of them are apologizing, some of them are saying, look, they were being deceived. So all of these consultation is being coordinated in a not too long distant future, these consultations will be consummated into a singular action of the appreciation of the Liberian people, and that decision will be widely articulated, and the Liberian people can rest assured. As we led them before, we will do it perhaps more than ever before.
All right, and the CDC was able to form a coalition and got to power. Just before I take leave of you, are we expecting a larger, bigger conglomeration and of political parties leading to 2029?
Yeah, of course, there are. Maybe we're trying to form a great coalition, more cohesive than ever before, more participatory than ever before, more collective than ever before. We want to form what is known as the Liberian coalition. It's not a political party coalition. We want to form a coalition of Liberians that automatically becomes stakeholder. It becomes stakeholder of their own decision. So yes, AB, we're going to form a coalition. Some people they are leaders. They're not in party. Some people are leaders. They do not believe in a political institution. We are trying to form individual. Even some of our brothers in the diaspora, even where I say that people from America who sometimes who became victims by the lies they were told. Some of those people are even reaching out to us, EB. So we are trying to form a multi-dimensional coalition that will be a multi-continental that we have both abroad, national abroad, that can get them for. Because AB, Liberia is everyone concerned, AB. Check around, AB, like you come. When you travel around the world, you see your country, AB, it's sad in our heart. We shed tears. AB, we should be much more focused on trying to help our country. There's no need that even we angry with the United Party. We don't have to destroy Liberia to get the United Party out of power. And that's why we're not desperate. When people say, oh, the United Party, no. The United Party was a group of evil and hateful people who believe that anyway it costs for them to destroy Liberia because they hate Jefferson Koijee, they hate Georgia, they will destroy Liberia. They don't care about that. That's not in our nature. No one will coerce us to be hateful people. No one will compare us to be wicked people. We do not hate Liberia. The Unity Party will not allow to hate Liberia. What we will do, we will separate the evil people from this country. We will deal with the Unity people. The Unity Party will be accountable, not at the expense of the country. If people think that we have to destroy Liberia before they be held accountable, no, we will not. We will surgically ensure that the Unity Party be held accountable and not injuring our country, because we cannot afford to gamble the peace of our country. So that's why we're not even, and I normally tell Liberian people, I said there are two different institutions. The Unity Party people, they are anti-people driven. The CDC are people driven. See their policy. The Unity Party people do not love the Liberian people, and that's why they are very selfish. They love to see the suffering of the Liberian people, see what's going on. And that's why for their part, they believe that they have never gotten power from the people. And that's why they speak arrogantly. That's why they do not hesitate to take decisions that will keep the people homeless, to take decisions that will keep the people in poverty, to take decisions that will endanger the life of the people, to take decisions that even today the people in Lofa County, today those who used to go on their farm, today they are hopeless. Today they are regretting because the Unity Party do not in any way believe in people. What they are gathered and inspired by, they are anti-people driven. And that's why their policy, today the motorcyclists will tell you, that's an anti-policy, that's an anti-people policy. Breaking down people's homes, that's anti-policy, that's anti-people policy. Ensuring that police have normalized police brutality, that is anti-people policy. And that's why on our leadership, even protestation, when we were doing myself as a mayor, The president used to instruct me and say, Mr. Koijee, these people are protesting in your city. What I used to do, I would share water, food on them. Do you think that was a weak president? By ensuring, no. We think that Liberia were above all of us. We didn't need, there was no need to engage into things that we panic or to engage into things that we harm them. We felt that those of the people who disagree with us, they're now our enemy. We thought there was an opportunity to see the country in a different dimension. So we permitted them, we tolerated them. If you think that the CDC were wrong, if you think the CDC were wrong and were weak in doing that, and you come and be parading and say you can use intimidation as the order of the day to steal the Liberian people will, or to think you can trample over the right of the Liberian people, we say to you, you need to consume something stronger than cocaine, because we understand our people and we know what the people made of, and we provide leadership for them. And that leadership, we are prepared, we are resolute, and that leadership will be provided in a very not too long distant future.
Thank you so much, Lord Mayor. But just before I take leave of you, this final question, and this one comes strictly from a recent statement, most recent statement made by Senator Abraham Darius Denon. His quote in just phrases, and let me just paraphrase it. He said that though he personally, he just started aligning with the Unity Party. He said they know how to maintain power. CDC had power, they took it away from CDC. The CDC talking about coming back to take it back 2029, knowing fully the strength of the governing Unity Party in maintaining and having grip on power. What did you sense from that? Arrogance or what?
Well, maybe, and that's what we are glad at this point in time again. With time, and that's why they say time is everything, AB. No matter how you pretend, no matter how deceptive you are, the true nature of a person cannot beat the consistency of time.
Mm-hmm.
You can deceive the people, but you cannot deceive time. You can easily deceive people, but you cannot deceive time. Senator Darius Denon paraded himself before our people as a man of immunity, as a man of sincerity, as a man who believed and a respecter of people, to the extent that everything that he displayed was on camera. He was going to go vote with short trousers, wearing slipper. When he shake a crippled person, he would take a photo. He was kneeling down before. People cannot demonstrate immunity by picturing. People cannot demonstrate humility on TV. Humility should be in nature. Riding motorbike does not in any way simplify that you were a humble person. Mr. Dillon was going to work 8 o'clock in the morning to the Senate, telling people, in his mind, he thought he was deceiving the Liberian people. Well, he succeeded for some time, but he could not deceive time. He deceived time. Time had revealed his nature. That every other thing he was doing, he was being fickle. He was being cosmetic. He is a deceptive character, very deceitful character, who were deceiving the Liberian people totally who he's not. To the extent, how can Mr. Dillon yesterday, who was being perceived as a transparent person, as a humble person, we say to the people today that we took power. Power can never be taken by the person. Power is given by the people. It just tells you how disrespectful, how chronically arrogant, Mr. Dillon. We are not surprised.
Okay.
People are not surprised because that is the man we know throughout. That is who he is. That is his true nature. But it is the Liberian people with time who have got to realize now who we knew ages back. But it's not too late. The Liberian people will definitely, like they have done to many other people, many other persons who have taken advantage of them, the Liberian people have never fallen short to really awaken some of those creatures and characters who have taken advantage of them and thought that they deceive the Liberian people. I think they deceive themselves.
Right.
And with time have approached for this man to say today, arrogantly say before the microphone and say that he has the authority to keep himself in power. Maybe just take a look at 2009. This man was massively defeated. He was not an electable character.
Certainly.
This is a creature that is a beneficiary of a mass anger. This man became an accidental beneficiary of the people's action. The people were angry. The people were deceived. In their anger, they took a decision. And thinking that decision was something worthy. Today with time, they have got to realize that this man is nothing, but he's an open creature of deception. He's a monument of deception. This is a man who claims that he disgraces a simple thing. The simplest thing, very simplest thing of business class. This guy got to lie to the Liberian people about that. He was not honest about that. This simplest thing. And he thinks he's so smart. Everything he said before, everything he go in a very corny way and say, oh, we never thought, are you killing me? Are you killing me to say you don't know how governance, when you were around governance since Charles Senator? He said honest again, since Charles Senator, when you were working with the late TC Group, when Charles Bronski was 17, when you were around, you knew all of those things, and you said you were criticizing the Liberian people. You were telling the Liberian people that Mr. William, that President Weah were riding a private jet, that President Weah were doing stuff, all the things you said. Then today, shamelessly, when you yourself being parading, when you are a beneficiary of the spoils of the society, today everything you said, when you told the Liberian people, say you only have, I don't know, $90 in your account or something. Today, go see. Your face is taller than Saw Beach. Today, how then the people you said you are men of the people today? And about AB, we didn't need that, for us, there was no need to pretend, AB. We do not pretend to the Liberian people because we who we are. AB, that's why we walk, today our crime is because we are very open and transparent and honest, authentic. But people who were trying to fake their way into the heart and souls of the Liberian people, they deceive their way through. Maybe that was the one. Today, everything he become a monumental contradiction. See a house. Somebody took a picture and sent it to me. The fence around us is taller than Saw Beach.
Right.
You know his defense for that? He said to the people, that chief cement I use. What kind of man are you? But one thing I can say to you, every ill-gotten wealth that's illegally amassed for the Liberian people, no matter how well you accumulate it, those wealth do not last. It has a way to go back to the people. You will deceive yourself. There were men who have stood on fire bigger than the legs of ours, For Mr. Dillon to think that he can arrogantly address the Liberian people. He's a man who was involved in a video He went to New York. He started splashing money way in New York. He was splashing money. Those are things that would be made our Liberian people to believe that were very offensive. It was a taboo. It showed that we were spoiling the Liberian people money. They politicized it. He went to New York, he did the same thing. But they always found justification in the thing. He's smart. Today, a married man like him, and you touch a woman in an inappropriate way, and Mr. Dillon think it's a normal thing to do. That didn't end. He come back and spit in the faces of the Liberian people and say he know how to take power. Mr. Dillon, you? What do you have? Tell us. How do you take power from people? How? What do you have? What is your appeal? What can we connect you to?
Certainly.
That the Liberian people are indebted to you. So, pull you here now as an individual. You are associated with the Liberty Party. Today, painfully, through a, what you call the United Party, people can say we accommodated him. You were accommodated by the United Party today. The Liberty Party can say, yeah, we're part of winning a party. You associate yourself with a political party that have never seen a presidency before. Like you say, if you can get Liberty Party power, like you can keep yourself in power, what kind of stupidity and madness is that? If you cannot get Liberty Party power, a party that you founded, you were raised in, you never one day carry Liberty Party to power before. That through the accidental, you are a beneficiary of accidental of what you call decision or anger. And today the United Party accommodated you, and you have an opportunity to appoint people, and you come arrogantly say you can. First of all, take Liberty Party to power first before you lecture all about keeping power. If you can't take Liberty Party to power, you can keep Liberty, you can keep power. Have you ever given yourself power before? But the Liberian people are smarter than the arrogance that's being displayed by Dillon. Okay. So we're not losing sleep over that. Okay. We trust the Liberian people. Okay. We believe in them. Okay. We appreciate them. Okay. We raise our red hand salutation to them. They have never disappointed the Liberian people. They know what is good for them. They have understood fully well that what is appropriate for our country. They will jealously ensure that those people who are parading with arrogance will be punished, and so that this country will go to the leaders that will be respected of the people, not respected of themselves. We must begin to respect our people. We must begin to realize that the people are the true custodian of our authority. Even the CDC, if the CDC fail to do that, the CDC will be put there again for power. If the CDC come back and the CDC doesn't respect the Liberian people will continue to put people out until a group of people will take power in that country and begin to respect the Liberian people and provide for them.
Thank you so much, Lord Mayor, for taking your time tonight. Thank you so much. When we see the need, you always come. But thank you so much. Our lines are open. We wish you all the best. Keep up your studies. We can't wait to have you back home to join the struggle physically on ground. But thanks so much for the battle out there. We appreciate it.
Thank you, AB. And I want to say thank you for affording me the opportunity to share my perspective to the Liberian people. To share my perspective to the Liberian people, I want to say thank you. And with God being above, we prayed that there were leaders, there were far more corrupt leaders, far more dangerous leaders who deceived the Liberian people. But with time, the Liberian people were able to get disposed of them and got rid of them. The Baga and King Great Britain will not be the first, will not be the last. Like I said to you, the Liberian people remain very consistent at the Northern Star. Every other leaders have been transitory. So the Baga and King Great Britain will be transitory. They will come and become history. I want to be very grateful to God. I also want to seize this time to extend my deepest thanks and appreciation to my spiritual father, Pioneer, Pastor Philemon Tappet.
Okay.
A man who I've always been AB, and I say this is very personal. I was born and raised in the Methodist Church. And that's where I encountered my faith. But alive, when we lost the elections, our Imam most destituted condition. Being as a young person, working for 6 years, being verified in a very malicious way. The whole country branded me like a monster. And a group of people took over the country. The first thing they were thinking, my name became a chorus that Jefferson Koijee will be in prison, that Jefferson Koijee will do this. And people were walking and seeing in my face, you will be like the former Justice Minister, Regan Scott.
Yeah, Regan Scott, yeah.
You will beg for bread on the street. You will sleep with Mesa Beach, your resident. But knowing fully well that I knew that what all that was being said was false and misleading. I was just a victim of malicious circumstances and propaganda. People who fear me, who could not confront me, they only have to use lies to deceive the Liberian people and portray me in a more negative way. It was a very tough thing, I want to say to you. It was very tough for me, away from knowing fully well. Even the toughness is not something strange to me. I lost my mother at age 7 years, 7 days. I'm a son of a traditional hunter and a farmer. My life has always been tough. I was brought to Monrovia at age 7 years old. I was reared in the slum community of West Point and Yucatan. I don't need to be told about how life is. I know what the street means to the guys on the street. I understand the language about the street. It's not something I take pride in, but it's a moral lesson that will not depart me, because it taught me life. And that's why it was not difficult for me to assimilate and to relate with people on the ground, because that is where I came from, and that's the people I interacted with. Right. So there's no portfolio who have taken away that would, take me away and separate me from them. So when those things happened to me, it was tough for me. But I encountered Pastor Philemon Tappet, a man who taught me and showed me spirituality in a whole different way. I say this from the depth of my heart.
Thank you.
And when I could not believe to even travel, to even come to Europe, when people felt that, if you think about that, I'm sanctioned for human rights violation. Can you imagine?
Right.
Maybe I'm sanctioned for corruption. To this time that one foreign account cannot be located, not even in Monrovia, not even in Liberia. But these people told lies on my name. Today, not even a single check they can find written on my name. But today, I bear the blunt. I could not even see my family as a young man. Everything that I own, they can show a single home in Monrovia. That here the man property. Where is the Koijee property? Where it is the millions that Koijee own? You go in 3 years, they can't fund it. Where all of the people Koijee were quote unquote take away their life? Where are my victims? Where is the empirical facts? Where are the people not coming? Of course, the Koijee are too powerful. I'm no longer in government. I do not wield that power anymore. Why? And to the order my accuser, they are seated in top-notch government portfolio. Today they are making decisions for our country. Are they forgotten? Take back the current youth and sport minister, when she claimed that I went to District 13, what the people are killed to District 13. Yombli Kanga, today, she pro-temporary. When they were screaming about Gloria Mususka, they went to the house. Today, I got no reason you can free her. But my concern is, if you free Gloria Mususka, then who is the perpetrator? Why the government cannot help her find the perpetrator? A young girl with murder, the whole country will be made to believe that Jefferson Koijee was the murderer. The life today if you can get Gloria Mususka the opportunity to work in the government. My only concern is that is the former chief justice is not bothered. She went to jail because people believe that she was involved in the murder. Is she not angry to find the perpetrator? If the United Party people not disturbed? Jerome Fredia, he's in America. They brought the government to power. Why are they not concerned? Mr. Barker, you visited Gloria Mususka. If you love her so much today that you free her from jail, you have to give her a job. You as a grandfather, are you not interested to find the murderer of the late Chara Musu? Gregory Cuomo, if today you find issues, are you not concerned to find the murderer of the late Chara Musu? Liberian people, is that why you hate us? Is it because my name is Tamba? Or it is because my parents were not part of certain class system in the country? Or because it was offensive for me to be a mayor of a city, a boy from West Point, who should not be considered a chief administrator of a capital city? If that is our offense, then let us know. And which of whom we cannot apologize and for who we are. We cannot talk to God to reduce our blessing because you don't let us. We will not do that. Eh? So I think maybe I am moved by that today. I am asking these questions. But because we are not part of certain class system, so lying on our name has become acceptable. I want to say to you that the God we serve is bigger than your imagination. The God we know is bigger than your hate for us. Every single tongue that lie on us, unless there's not God in heaven, they will confess before they depart the face of the earth. If I ever did those things, I will find no peace as a young man. And I want to say thank you to Reverend Philemon Tappet, who continued to inspire my faith, who told me it was possible to obtain a European visa when nobody thought it was possible. And I got to encounter God, that God exists, AB. God truly exists.
Certainly.
I fasted and prayed. The Remedy family, I want to say I found God in a Remedy church.
Amen.
And I think God, with Reverend Philemon Tappet, is a true God servant.
Amen.
Every single word he said to me, AB, today I was able to go after being denied visa a couple of times. And he told me I was going to obtain a visa unless there's not God in heaven. I got that visa.
Amen.
And today
Amen.
I'm out of the country.
Amen.
I'm portraying myself. I'm about to conclude and I will be back into the country. I'm grateful to God for him. When everybody turned down about me, when people felt they could not accept me, this man opened his arm. There are people in his who even say they will leave the church because I am a sanction inductee. Why? That he's, a man of God could be, could identify, should be identifying with me. It's something that I take so dear to my heart. I will forever appreciate and I will ever remember the day I encounter Reverend Philemon Pania Tappet.
Wow. Lord Mayor, thank you. Great acknowledgement, and of course,
thank you
for others. Yeah,
thank you so much. Yeah, so that's it. I want to say thank you to the Liberian people. God being above, we'll be back in the country in a very short moment. Any moment from now, we're in the country. We join hands with you, our fellow Liberians. We did it before. We join hands with you. We showed that a true redemption of yours is on site.
Amen.
And when I abandon you, and that country will be redeemed, and that country will reach a full potential, so that our children yet unborn can have a country they can be so proud of. Thank you so kindly. With God being above, we pray that God save Liberia and protect all of us in His special ways.
Thank you so much, Lord Mayor. And of course, I wish you all of the best, you and your entire team. We wish you guys all the best. Folks, that's all the time we've got. No calls in tonight. I want to say thanks to all of you. This Jefferson Koijee, who just spoke with us. And of course, closing on a very sad and of course tearing note about his own life. How people teared him down. They did almost everything else to him. But of course, he had a man of God who told him that when there is a man to pray, there is a God to answer. Today is where it is. Acknowledgement is key. Appreciation is very key. Thanks so much, and I'm touched by that. So, folks, until we are back at God's way, the Diaspora Talk edition comes on tomorrow. Tomorrow is Good Friday, people. I'm understanding, and usually it's normally a working holiday. We want to be right here with you. Anytime we want to be there. But remember. Tomorrow, Friday, Kings FM is going to be going off the air. And of course, for relocation plans, the next time you listen to us, you'll be listening to us broadcasting strictly from Pinsville. So until then, do have a pleasant night. Bye-bye. Ndiri mupenyo nasi